A very special and warm good morning to all the viewers of the world from wherever you hail. I say a very, very special good morning, good day, good evening, good night, whatever the climate is, whatever the day is where you are. Good morning to you from Envybez. My name is Diana Wright, and I'm the host right here on Envybez Entertainment. And I do have a very, very special guest with us. I did promise you last week that I will be having a guest over. And see, I delivered, all right? There are lots and lots of interesting things to talk about this morning. But before I introduce him, of course, I would like you to hit the subscribe button. There are lots of great things on the Envybez show. Yes, we do talk about entertainment, but hey, what is entertainment without solid information? And this is what our very special guest is here to provide us with today. And yes, we are still on the subject of relationship. And I know you might be thinking that, relationship, okay, so let's hear it. But we are on a very, 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 very special topic. And it's a topic of Sufism. Yes, you might consider that Sufism has nothing to do with relationships, but I do believe that it has. And in my estimation, this is the best relationship anyone can have. And again, in my observation and in my belief, I do believe that a person without knowledge of the Creator is one who's yet to find himself. All right, so before I introduce you to my very special guest, stay tuned. I'll be right back with you after these messages.
We give thanks and praise to the Most High, Yah. Ever living, ever faithful, ever true. Yeah, yeah. More love, more peace, yeah, yeah. I just love it on me, I can't tear it apart. This is the real thing, you know the real thing. I just love it on me, I can't tear it apart. This is the real thing, you know the real thing. Love is a fountain, keeps on flowing down like a mountain, and it keeps on growing. You plus me, and the love is showing. Push up your hand in the air and make the love light shine. I just love it on me.
Welcome again, welcome. And this is Envybez, your very special, coolest hotspot on social media. Our very special guest again is Envybez Singh. And just a brief introduction of him. He is an IT professional. He's a certified persona and behavior trainer. He studied air hostess at the Drexel University at Franklin Institute of Air Hostess in beautiful India. Gosh, I just love the culture and the food. I'm telling you. It's great. Amanda,
yeah, lots of spices.
I love the spice. But listen, another thing that I'd like to point out to you about Amanda is that he is a singer. Amanda is a singer, and he's a composer. He's an author. He's a songwriter also. And I'm sure this man wears many hats, right? So we're going to peek under each hat and see what's under them today. Amanda, welcome again to Envybez.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so today we are on the topic of Sufism. Sufism, to many people, some people might not mean anything. To some people, it might be, oh, that's a new word for me, So please tell us, what is Sufism?
Surely. Well, to start, I would like to go to the very basics. I would like to go to the very ancient origins of where Sufism started.
Okay.
And I will also lay emphasis on what is the importance and what is the essence of Sufism. So you can be Sufi, I can be Sufi, but how can we be a Sufi? That we have to see, and explanations are going to come further, deeper and deeper. To start, we will find Sufism as the ancientmost sect in any spiritual societies, or before or after coming or avatar of any saint or any messiah on this earth. For a Sufi, sun is the most ancient, and for a Sufi, nature is the most ancient. Even if somebody does not believe in God, then nature is there. If the creation is there, there has to be some origin point of that creation as well. So Sufi starts from the real feelings inside and real questions, and it is said by some masters of mine as well, my trainers, my gurus, that you will get the answers if the questions are your own and original. If the questions are borrowed by some book, by reading some book, and the questions have not yet arrived inside your mind, inside your soul, then the answers you're going to get are also going to be the answer borrowed from some source or some book. But Sufis are looking for the direct connection, the direct answer, the direct question from the most highest source. And to start with the ancient history, you will find one branch of Sufism going to Islam. One branch would be going to the ancient real Gnostic teachings of Yeshua. One branch would go to the ancient mystery schools of Egypt or Kemet or African civilization, you can say.
Okay.
One branch, I didn't know that, but yeah, this is also true. And this is true about many saints, because in Sufi culture, we respect many saints, including Yeshua. Yeshua being one of the highest of degrees of saint or Messiah or God Himself, that He got that kind of energy and that kind of purity, that He connected directly to the source.
Okay, so you're saying that Sufism is is it the quest for the Creator? Is it the quest to have that eternal knowledge about who the Creator is? Is that what it is in a nutshell?
Yes, exactly. And this Sufism is, yeah, there is importance of a guru. Yeah, there is importance of a teacher or a master. But Sufi lay emphasis on the fact that nothing between you and the cosmic creator. No priests, no gurus, no master, no mediators. Just you and your creator. A personal, very personal relationship. Nobody's going to tell you how you are going to worship. Yeah, basics should be there. We cannot be, smoking weed and doing the worship at the same time. But yeah, basics should be clear. But once this personal connection is made, you do not need any mediators inside. Yeah, living or non-living masters are going to come during your meditation, during your worship. In the same way, it is said that during meditation, Gabriel, Michael, Raphael, and Oriel, different archangels used to come to all these saints. That might happen with you as well. That might happen with you as well. But there should be no mediators. I mean, a kind of mother-child relationship with a personal relationship with a creative force. No mediators inside.
Okay, let me ask you. You mentioned Sumerian, you mentioned Egypt, you mentioned Yeshua, you've mentioned all the ancient people of ancient time. Okay, so what is it seems to me that each sect or each culture or each has within them that something or that special innate desire or will, if you might call it, that connects them to the eternal being. Is that what you're saying,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Only the
So,
names are different. Otherwise, uh, the kind of message Yeshua spread, he spread about the one eternal force. Rest, many ancient civilizations were talking about many different gods and many different forces of nature. That might be true as well, but
mhm,
those are lower forces. The
mhm.
highest source is only one, and every other forces are controlled by the higher force. And I would like to tell you,
Yes.
even the Sumerian and even Indian ancient civilization, and even the Kemet, from where the ancient most schools of Sufism came, their
Mhm.
actual wisdom was of the one eternal being beyond the limits of time and space.
Mm.
Rest, gods and kings and whatsoever, all the other things and forces of nature, they follow. But slowly, there was a time when priests became power hungry and they started promoting something else apart from the most higher source
Mhm.
for lust of money. And this is why civilizations fall. But the actual message of even the Kemetic civilization was the one eternal being which does not have any name.
Okay. Okay. So we're getting somewhere now. We're getting somewhere. All right. So despite all the different traditions and going through the ages of time, it seems as if it doesn't matter the language you speak, it doesn't matter your culture, it doesn't matter your race. There is something within the human being, something within the spirit of man that connects. Because here you are saying that okay, it doesn't matter about the kings and the gods and all of those things. Every generation, every people has knowledge of the eternal being.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Every one of them has been touched secretly, and people sometimes, it's just like that. Life gives you many opportunities, and some people are very sensitive, hypersensitive people who are able to understand the small clues of life given by life, opportunities given by life. In the same way, some people are not sensitive and they are just busy and drinking and smoking, and and they're just busy in party life and something like that. They're very materialistic. In the same way, there are very hypersensitive people in every civilizations who have been secretly touched by the divine, you may call it Holy Spirit. That's the right word.
Yes.
That secret Holy Spirit has touched everyone. Nobody has been spared, not even so called Satan. Even that being has been touched by the supreme most thing.
Wow. So before we this topic is so rich. It's like eating one of my favorite Indian meal or one of my favorite Jamaican meal. The taste is here. The flavor is so flavorful, and I have
Exactly.
to try to make sure I stay right on top, because right in the line of what we're discussing, because I can go a whole lot of places with the information that you're giving me. And I'm very glad
Yeah.
that you have brought it out, that the truth is one and that the creator is one. Now, when we look back throughout and I'm coming back to explain, for you to explain more like the life of a Sufi and all of those very, very finer details. But internally, right, how did we get? How did people across the world get to like all these? Because if the truth is one, if the creator is one, how did people all over the world digress and divert so much from the truth? And if there is one being and one truth, you know what is these different kinds of worship and these different kinds of maybe religion or all these things that comes in the name of God, in the name of the higher being. How is it viewed? How do you think it is viewed in the eyes of the Creator? Since everyone basically have a knowledge of Him, is it acceptable?
That's that's a very good question. And on the face of Earth is so much tolerable that Earth has tolerated all the civilizations. It has given shelter to all the civilizations. Earth is so tolerable that Earth have seen and witnessed so much bloodshed in the name of different religions and different stuff and different opinions. So if you go deep, it's you would feel that some very naughty children and group of children are fighting for opinions.
Mm.
Like different civilizations are fighting just for their opinion, and for everyone their opinion is good. But I feel this is a matter where I call them wise men, people of Earth. This is a degree that I give to those people who dig deep, who go down to the rabbit hole, and they try to find out what are the common stuff between us as humans. And they dig deep and they find out so what lies beneath in this culture and what people of this culture themselves does not know. Because in every culture, this priesthood and politics were always closely related. Kings, priesthood, and the politics.
Right.
All these things were closely related, and these are the people who train different stuff to the masses. And they spread good or bad messages. And once the messages spread, it spreads like fire and it goes to the generations. And the meaning of the whole original thing is completely changed.
Wow.
So, in all these civilizations, I would like to tell you the ancient African original spirituality is based on earth based spirit, earth based energies. They worship and conserve nature much better than a man of today who is rather destroying the nature. So they knew something. They knew something about the herbs. They knew something about the deeper wisdom. Also, what I have studied, I will give you the concepts and I will give you the examples. Have you do you know about the Sikh people who wear turban and keep a sword with them?
Yeah.
So I'm from that civilization. I'm originally a Sikh.
Ah, interesting.
It's a warrior. Yeah, it's a warrior and saint race. And this race was created by 10 enlightened masters, just like you can say, just like very enlightened masters, they only promote only one being. And all the fights they have fought with the Mughal Empire or any empire which was tyrant empire, they have fought for other civilizations. They have not fought for money. They have not fought for land. They have not fought for women. They have fought to save other societies to completely banish any kind of any kind of torture being done to those societies, those ancient societies by Mughal Empire.
So would you say that they were themselves a type of Sufi in a sense, because they
exactly a kind of Sufi. And a very important point I would like to make. Consider Hindus. Okay, in Hindus, people are worshipping Shiva. People are worshipping goddess Kali. Okay, people are worshipping many other different elemental gods, 5 elements and everything. Now consider Egypt. In Egypt, there are many concepts which I would like to tell you. There is one god which personifies sun, which is Ra. The name is Ra. And one god which personifies the feminine aspect, which is the moon. He is called Khonsu. One god which personifies the beauty of motherhood everywhere. That is Hathor or Hetheru, with a face of cow. Now, these were not the real beings. These were never the real beings. These are concepts, different concepts of cosmos. What is
Okay.
Shiva?
Okay. Go ahead.
If somebody is worshipping like Hindus, this is how they have forgotten their actual wisdom of one being.
Mhm.
They are the ancient civilizations. They were very tribal. So whatever a tribal person knows with the help of diagrams, with the help of drawings on the walls. That's what we see in ancient civilization. Whatever
Right.
knowledge they have
On the
to
wall.
pass, they
Yes.
yeah, they draw everything on the tablets. They draw everything on the walls. This is how their knowledge is spread. There is no other way. Like there is no good, well explained, articulate language present at those times. So maybe those people were drawing everything. So the concepts were also drawn. Shiva is not a being with a trident and he's trying to, rule over the world, something like that. No, Shiva is a concept which is beyond the limits of time and space. Shiva is stillness of cosmos, a stillness which is point zero.
Mhm.
It's the point of origin. Now, remove the diagram of Shiva. If you really want to understand the Shiva, he is not a being, a body, or a man with a trident or something. No, he is a concept. He is stillness. He is a point zero. He is the origins, the purity, absolute purity, which is beyond the limits of creation and time and space. Then suddenly, from Shiva, a Holy Spirit arises. This is the Holy Spirit, which is told in Christianity as well. Holy Spirit is the energy which is not the potential energy that has got immense vibration inside it. That's the kinetic energy that becomes Goddess Kali. This is a concept in India. In the same
Okay.
way, but they are not promoting any different beings. They are not promoting anything. These are just the formulas and concepts. Shiva is stillness. He is only one being. And Shakti or Kali is just the energy which gets created and which starts the process of creation and manifestation.
All right.
That's Kali. And that's the Holy Spirit. I mean, kind of an example of Holy Spirit.
Okay. Okay. So, like in Christianity, all right. For example, like when we read the book of Bereshit or Genesis, it says that in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with the Creator, and the Word spoke all things into being. Right? We do know that we talk about life, we talk about word, sound, and power. But when you take, and this is where maybe a Sufi would come in, right? To properly define the oneness of the Most High, because he seeks, that to transcend into that realm. Now, if you take what is eternal and you kind of convert or symbolize it, or symbolize him, or symbolize that being, that eternal being, with something, temporal or perennial, like, maybe like you say, like the face of something, like the sun or the moon, or the face of an animal. Also, do you think that we're doing a disjustice in a sense, if we try to embody the Most High in a replica of that low estate?
Well, it's just a piece of art, you can say that. And just just think deeply, the work which priests have copied, I think they have copied. Otherwise, this work of manifestation, the breaking and segregation eternal self has manifested himself. It has manifested himself into many different forms of trees, of animals, of mountains. So he's an animal face himself. Only his characteristics become different in that face. And he comes into your face as well. But his characteristics becomes for some 70 to 80 years or 100 years till the time you're going to live. His characteristics becomes of Dianarite. So the eternal force comes into your form and is watching the world through your eyes. That's what a Sufi says. So everywhere, wherever we see the eternal being, but in different forms. But only the Most High Saint, like Yeshua, or like Solomon, or like maybe the higher saints, only those kind of people know the real, original form of that eternal being. For us, we will only see the manifestations of that eternal being. But only those higher gods or Messiah or Yeshua kind of beings, only they would understand and know the real form of the highest eternal being.
Okay, if you're just joining us, my name is Diana Wright, and I do have a very, very special guest with me. His name is Amandeep Singh, and he's all the way from India, and we're talking about Sufism. Yes, we're still on the topic of relationship, but because we do believe that relationship with the Most High is the only true love, the only true relationship that is even worth talking about. All right, so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you after these messages.
Thank you.
Okay, so welcome back, Amandeep. All right, so many things are happening right here. My brain is turning over as I listen to you. Earlier, I wanna just digress a little. Earlier, you did mention that there are different acknowledgement or different forms of or the origin of Sufism, which began in
Exactly.
from Islam, from Sumer, from all the different sects. And we did say that there is one close tie between all of them. All right. So when I look, all right, so back in Sumer, I know that was one of the ancient origin, the ancient people, the Sumerians.
Yeah.
What is that missing element that you believe that the Sufis of today is connected with the Sufis of yesterday? What is that missing element that they carry? And how are the Sufis portraying that today? And do you think that we have that one connector, that connective tissue between us? Are we actually following the right path that the Sufis are practicing today? Do you think?
Well, I think times have changed, people have changed, and whatever was there for a reason, and whatever is there nowadays is there for a reason.
Stay tuned. I'll be right back with you after these messages.
Yeah, I sing to you a love song, so the whole wide world can sing along. And oh, I sing to you a love song, so the whole wide world can sing along. You are my light, in you there is no darkness. If I start
Welcome again. Welcome. And this is Envybez, your very special, coolest hotspot on social media. Our very special guest again is Amandeep Singh.
Sufis of ancient times used to portray everything in the terms of, as I told you, in way of diagrams and everything. That was very primitive and tribal way of making people understand. For example, the being is one, nature is one, and beyond nature is the eternal, the source.
Right.
But if some people, if some civilization is living nearby a gigantic river, and that river is providing them all sources of food and of gold, of silver and minerals and everything, naturally their interest, political, social, and religious interest would be towards that river. Naturally,
Right.
that they would respect that river, that this river is giving us a lot of stuff. In the same way, people of India used to worship cow. So let's not, people have changed the meaning. It's not worship, it's respect. Worship was of the same one being, but respecting the cow, because cow is giving us milk and cow is giving us butter, and we are eating because of cow. And in the same way, people have attached that concept of God, animal, or that. This is
Wow.
what ancient time. Behind that, there was a deep meaning, and we should understand the meaning. You might not follow the rituals that they used to do, and that is not important. You follow your own way, but understand that if they are giving respect, and that kind of respect, to a cow, a river, to a mouse, to a bird, to a goat, because they are drinking milk of a goat, then they are saying there is omnipresent, eternal being present in a mouse even. There is an omnipresent, eternal one present in a cow. And he's giving everything to us in form of a cow.
So you
And
don't
there's
see,
a,
you don't see it as a transfer of title, because then, like, if you bow to the cow, for example, or if you honor the animal, do you see it as a transfer of title to a lesser being? Like an animal that is here for a few years and it's gone. What happened when the cow died?
yeah, exactly.
If you're just joining us, my name is Diana Wright, and my very special guest is Amandeep Singh. He's all the way from India, and we're on the discussion of Sufism, and he's doing a wonderful job so far. So don't forget that, of course, I think we're going to have a part 2, because we're already 47 minutes into it, and this kind of discussion is
Sure.
just never ending. You know what? Hit the subscribe button, and we are going to come back with part 2. All right? This is great.
Thank you.